As you can see, that was a very ambient, sort of inspired piece, using my effects here with the Strymon reverb and the Strymon delay. Really nice pedals to use, especially it has the ability to kind of elongate certain notes. So if I'm ever choosing to play maybe these 3 octaves here, these harmonics, as I kind of put the pedal down on this, as I play it, it actually sustains the notes, so it allows me to play some lead sections, which is such a nice effect when you're playing solo, because we're trying to, a solo player is trying often to just get as much out of the instrument as possible, and so allowing to do this, it really has the sense that there's this backing track behind you. Very nice stuff to use this to your advantage. I use this quite a bit, especially if I'm doing if I were to play this live, the intro would typically be elongated a little bit longer, simply for the fact that I can just be free a little bit for that first couple minutes to just do whatever I need to do. And certain things that I like to do a lot is these sort of Persian ornaments. Now I'm Persian by blood, but I grew up in the Western world, and so I try to bring a lot of these Middle Eastern influences into some of my playing. What's a very common thing in Persian music is to do these little hammer-ons, these really quick hammer-on pull-offs. Really beautiful stuff that you can do with the combination of the guitar with the pedals and things like this. And one of the other things that I really like to use is this guy, which is an Ebow, and this basically creates a sort of magnetic field around the string. Again, something about this pickup system that just lends itself so nicely to this sound. I mean, tell me that's not a nice sounding synth-like. Right? It's almost like church or something, like you're in a church and you've got this huge sort of decay, right? And when you combine the two together, say I were to do this with the actual sustain on the pedal that I'm using, let's see what that sounds like. So now I've got the sustain, my foot is on the pedal to sustain the reverb, and now I can do this to really explore a little bit more, right? If you're going for this sort of ambient sound, that is. It's just such a good combination that I love to use, and I get asked all the time at shows and workshops, and this combination of these elements together. And all these things that I'm using right now, just so you know, these are tools, right? These are basically tools out of what I call a technique bucket, which is basically where you can take certain techniques out of different genres and try to fuse them together to create this, really sort of kind of modern, sort of progressive sound, which is what I'm all about. I like to really explore the instrument, not only harmonically, of course, with the harmony of music, but also with textures, right? Textures, full immersion. That's kind of what I'm all about here. I also just released my new online course called Fingerstyle Pro, and it's an in-depth online course where I take you from the beginning stages all the way to the advanced stages of learning fingerstyle guitar, including how to play like this, and learning a lot of my songs, how to write your own compositions. So if you are interested in checking it out, make sure you check that out in the description down below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you in the next lesson.